Neon lights, what is up? East Coast. Official, my guest is already here. What is up? Thank you guys for staying tuned. Thank you. It's a part 2. I told you tonight I'm bringing heat. Let's go. Let's get my second guest in here. Thank you guys. Let's get him in here.
Yes. Part 2. Nothing but straight heat.
Hey.
What is up? Round of applause for my second guest. Double hitter. I mean,
Hey, it's good to see you, man.
how you doing? Tell the people who you are, bro.
I am Jay, and I am the creator of Armored Toku Heroes, and my co-creator should be joining us in a few seconds behind me, probably.
Yeah, that's what's up. Thank you guys for tuning in. Back, for double header, 2 for 2. Now, we did a live before. I had this young gentleman on my podcast before. Last time it was just rushed. Questions wasn't ready. He was in the car. I don't even remember where I was. I just was trying to just shoot to get the podcast going. If your co-creator wants to jump in, we got to see the lovely face too. Now, I mean, just come pop your head in, say what's up.
Hey, how's it going?
1 second. I'll try to situate this a little better. Nope, there's a light.
Yes, give the people quick brief about you, where you're from, and all the good stuff.
You first, babe.
So my name is Lopthina, but nobody can spell it, nobody can pronounce it, so everybody just calls me Loki instead. I was born and raised about an hour away from New Orleans in Louisiana. Currently living in Arkansas right now. I'm a cosplayer, story maker, concept designer. I just got a program for doing digital art on top of years of experience doing drawn art and painting on, paper, canvases, shoes, pretty much anything. At this point, I have 11 plus years of experience in both art and competitive cosplay.
See, I told you guys, I'm bringing nothing but the best of the best of the best, sir. Now, I mean, I'm bringing nothing but heat for you this winter.
I love that reference.
Yeah, so, the reason why I have these two guys on it, because I gave you the basic side of Rangers or Sentai, and today I'm bringing you more overall aspect of, like, not just, like, for example, the reason why they got this team right here, our Toku series, is because they're more generated to the Sentai, not just Power Rangers, but Kamen Rider and anything costume related. So I just want you to, tell the people why you chose that name before I give all that up or whatnot.
Armored Toku Heroes?
Yeah.
Honestly, it was to the point. It was very on the nose. I kind of figured, I was just like brainstorming for a good minute, and I was like, man, I need something catchy. I need something that would pop, but that wouldn't be too complicated to say if you're going to market it. And I thought, well, I mean, they're Armored Heroes, and it's a Toku genre. So why not Armored Toku Heroes? And that's how I came up with the name. It just was simple,
Yeah, I love the name. I thought the name was amazing. Let me know, Ranger Vault, if you can hear me better now or hear the team better now. But when I hear Armored Toku Heroes, to me, I just thought Kamen Rider, like anything Japanese costume related or tokusatsu related. Like I just was like, yo, Bing, yo, that name is just genius. Um, I wrote you, young lady, because I needed RJ to have a particular type of shoe because I seen your work and I thought your work was amazing. So I was like, yo, that'd be dope if I get some canvas, type wolf related shoes to go with, Wolf and Wolf Legacy series. And I'm just like, guys, if you're tuning in and you're watching this, her work, her work speaks for itself. Like I back her work. Like just, hit her up, find up on the page and definitely just hit like say, hey, what's up? What's going on? Spread love to the Brooklyn way. You already know what it is. What about your project stands out from most?
Well, would you want to answer that one?
Honestly, it's just completely original from the bottom up, It's been a lot of brainstorming between, the name, putting in representation for Toku and stuff like that. Actually making more diversified storylines, people, different kinds of people, different places, personalities and stuff like that. Setting up good mysteries that actually have solutions at some point. I have Hollywood level prop experience. So whenever our Armored Toku brand goes live action, we'll be able to have stuff that would be on a regular film set. Mm-hmm. I've worked on 2 Super Bowl commercials, and I've also was on Jay and Silent Bob, the reboot. I work in a haunted house as an SFX makeup artist and improv actress, so I made a lot of connections with people in filming industries. One of my good friends, James, actually does a lot of videography for like Super Bowls and things like that. So he's got a really, really, really good niche with cameras. So we'll also have a professional camera team that has, legitimate backgrounds and references and stuff. So what you can expect from it at the point that it does go live action, which I'm a little bit more involved with because of costuming and visuals and stuff. At the point that it goes live action, it'll already be, I don't know how to say that without it sounding bad. It'll be
very professional.
It'll be professional. It'll be higher scale than a lot of things that we currently get to see because we won't be starting from the bottom up with, filming on your phone or taking your voice recordings with your phone. We'll have professional, multi-$1,000 cameras and boom mics and professional lighting, the costumes and the weapons,
And I'm also aiming to try to rent a studio out for it. So,
right. So look, that's it's crazy, and I think this is why we gravitated towards each other is because I'm actually trying to do that myself. Like I have this space. I'm in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina right now. So I have this space and I have the vision for it. I'm not just trying to shoot something off my phone. That's the reason why it's taken me so long to actually get Wolf Legacy up and running is because if you tell yourself that you're 3 years ahead, you will be 3 years ahead instead of telling yourself you're in the now, if that makes sense. Like, I try to tell people, I can't even say try to tell people. Somebody told me that. They was like, look, listen, if you act like, if you perform like if you've been doing it for years, it will show in your work. So it's like, I'm like, look, listen, I done invested in a boom mic, boom pole. I done invested in a gimbal. I'm talking about high quality gimbal. I invested in like real movie equipment so that my sound will be good. My suits will be good. Like, I want Wolf Legacy to stand out. Like, and I would love for you guys to actually like help or even partake in Wolf Legacy, because right now it's just me. Like, I'm doing the writing, I'm doing the casting. I'm literally, it's like, it's just so much. And I was like, yo, I need a team with people who know what they're doing and how to do it. And another thing that I'm working on is trying to fly out to meet you guys. So like, not just you two, but other cosplayers and other people who have projects, and to say, yo, what's up? Like, yeah, we meet each other on video, but let's really vibe. Like, let's sit down at a table and just share ideas and just be like, hey, what you think about this? What you think about that? And yo, that's dope. And da 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 da. And then eat good food and just, really just vibe. Like, I'm really with that. Like, with Legacy.
Honestly,
Thank you, blessing.
honestly, I could probably message you or she will, one of us, after this at some point, and set up maybe a dinner, get together down here or something.
I would
Help
definitely,
cover your travel, all that.
I would definitely would love to do that. Like, I'm definitely with that all the way.
An
So,
idea that I just thought of that might be an interesting thing when you talk about meeting everybody. Of course, still, individually traveling to meet different people. But I had an idea. If maybe sometime in the next year or even the year after, depending on people's circumstances, finances, and the ability to travel with all the, COVID stuff going on, is maybe picking a con somewhere that everybody is mutually interested in.
right.
And then just everybody flying out to one mutual location, and then
Right.
everybody being able to, talk together,
Right. I will be, that's the whole point of me trying to have an event in Myrtle Beach. Like, I'm trying to literally, I'm in the works right now. I'm already in contact with the Myrtle Beach Convention Center. I've been writing so many people, so many sponsors. I'm trying to have Doja Cat there. I'm trying to have Megan Thee Stallion there. I'm trying to have like different aspects. I'm not trying to have them there to perform. I want them there to cosplay. Like, I want them there to feel like, yo, I'm here to cosplay. I'm not here to perform. I just want to dress up like you guys and walking around, because it's a lot of people that are doing amazing cosplay, amazing work, but yeah, they go to cons to see other cosplayers. Some of the times they don't really see other vendors. They're there to see the cosplay. That's what they're really there for. So it's just like, yo, why have an event why not have an event where, yo, hey, look, listen, Myrtle Beach, the weather's always nice. Let's go over there and just, hey, look cool. It's not too cold. It's not too hot. We could do a beach shoot at the beach. We could do an indoor shoot. Like, it's multiple things you could do. And I just, once I do Myrtle Beach, I'm doing one in Philadelphia. I'm doing one in Brooklyn. I'm doing one in Washington, D.C. And if you guys know a convention center or whatnot, let me know, because I'll definitely get in contact with them and have one in your area. I'm trying to do it big. Like, I'm not trying to step on nobody's toes, but I just want to spread the love, spread the cosplay love, and let the universe know that, yo, we here and we're a big family. Like, it's not just Power Rangers. Feel me? It's Kamen Rider. It's Marvel. It's DC. It's all over. It's Pokemon. It's Digimon. I'm still here looking at it right now. Like, I'm like, yo, I can't wait. Like, I just 3D printed this, and I'm just like, oh my God, I wish this was real. Like I'm just excited about it. But let's get back to you guys and y'all project. Oh, Latin Cosplay, what's up, bro? Your project grabbed my attention the moment I went on your page, and I was just like, this is gonna be different. Like I said, I love Combat in the Grid. You know what I mean? I love what they got going on. But yours, I'm more on the Rider Tokusatsu side. If I had to pick one, I would Kamen Rider all day. Like, Tokusatsu all day. Like, I love MMPR and all them other series, but if I had to choose, it would be the Tokusatsu field. And your project made me go, oh snap. I feel like I'm watching Tokusatsu, something Tokusatsu. I'm in love. So tell the people more about your project, and don't give them too much. Tease them a little bit now. Feel me? Just tease them a little bit, but just, let them know what's going on.
I think this would be a big enough tease. I'm about to tell everybody the origin of the Soul Source. All my armored heroes and villains' source of power. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, viewers, let's go. But back before time, there was only space. In that space was a raw power rooted deep beneath everything. Years later, when life has been thriving, a person from a different planet found a way to tap into this raw power. It merged with their soul while imbuing them with power unimagined by anyone. This person used magic to sustain the new power, keeping it from ripping them apart, causing a reaction that quaked the multiverse. Thus, the Soul Source was born, and that first person used this ability to destroy many obstacles in their way, even if it was living beings. The greed and dark thoughts that came from this person started to corrupt the Soul Source over time. A different person who was subjugated by this very being took an opportunity to previously forge a device capable of tapping into the Soul Source, then used it to defeat the tainted person. A huge chunk of the Soul Source, along with the defeated person, fell into a different dimension. The person who had rose against this threat knew the Soul Source needed to be protected in the hands of those who won't taint it. So they spent their entire life making sure that it was only in good hands. Eventually, this person died, and their soul merged into the Soul Source. Their name was then the Entity, mentor and guide of the Soul Source. Elsewhere in that other dimension, the person who was defeated had been consumed by their own dark Soul Source energy, twisting them into a horrible monster like no other. And this monster used that dark power to make a home out of this empty dimension, and it is known as the Void. This monster made sure the Void functions just like the Soul Source, but with a will to kill everything and everyone. Hopefully the Entity can win now, a never-ending war against the Void to make sure the Soul Source survives, and that all has a fighting chance away from the Void's oppression.
Tell me that wasn't deep. Love being read to. Blessed love. Yo, that was so...
Forgive my terrible reading, but...
No. It's crazy because I caught the vision right then and there. Once you started off your first two sentences, I was like, yeah, this reminds me of like something that I could read in a book, like on some real, yo, he took his time. You got
Thank you, Blessed Daily.
What? Seriously? Like,
huh?
I said she took her time. You guys took your time. You grabbed my attention, and it was able to get right to the point. Like, you didn't tease me too much. You got straight to the point. Look, listen, this is how it began. And now I need to see it in action now. Now that you said that, now I need to see it in action. Feel me? Like, once everything is artwork, right? For right now, for your project. Nothing is live action.
For now, I'm trying to show slight concept design visuals for the show to know what to expect, but it's not the final art. Loki has to actually start drawing the final art since she had digital programs now, which still will take some time. But the show itself, I wanted to do a tabletop for the first series, this first season, just because it's cost effective. But what's interesting about that is there's gonna be a side comic alongside the tabletop in case somebody doesn't want to sit down for 3+ hours watching someone tabletop. They have the luxury of picking the book instead.
That's smart. That is smart.
Same events, two different contents.
I was thinking that would be a dope audiobook. Like, I listen to audiobooks like crazy, so I can see or I can hear me like at work, and I hit like just from your voice just now reading it, I could be at work like, oh snap, shit about to get real. All right, yeah. All right, look, yeah, he touched that stone. Yo, the Void, yeah.
And the fun thing is we have so much room yet for growth, because if you've looked on the page, all of the art that's up there is concept designs that are done by Jay. He's a whole lot better at coming up with like the idea of what they should really look like and stuff like that, and kind of bouncing it off my head. So those pieces of art will go more into stuff like this, but with more of a comic book style than kind of an anime one. I don't know if it's focused.
No, I can see it. Well, I can see it.
This is more of a manga style, but she's going to go more American comic style for the actual comics and art later, the finalized art. This is a good example of her work when it's not digital.
That is dope. What do you call animation? I would love for you guys to, even if you don't go live action, do animation. Like, just have the characters stand there and just have the little pictures come up, and that'll be dope too.
For sure, season 2 is definitely going to be live action for the first series, and every series after season 2, Future Protectors, is live action because at that point we'll have the budget to work with. It's just getting content out to get a budget because it's expensive to film anything, especially a TV series. You got to have like thousands of dollars. So we're going to do our best to get content out there for people to be hyped for it and possibly crowdfund so that we can get the funds for it. Because we need to show them quality content, and if you get quality content, you'll be willing to pay to see it. You know,
right? I will back you guys 100%. You're hearing it first on Cosplay Talk Brooklyn Style. I will back you guys 100%. Like I said, I have a legit business. Brooklyn Boy Cosplay is a legit business. Like it's an LLC. I would use all the equipment that I have. If you guys ever need help trying to like shoot anything or use audio equipment or any of the equipment, like I would definitely just say, hey, what's up? I have the time. I would fly out there, meet you guys. Hey, look, listen, let's get to work, because that's the type of time I'm on. Because I see the vision, and I would love. That's why I have you guys on here today to show everybody else. Yo, look, listen, this is about to take off. Like you guys need to wake up and pay attention. Yeah, you got Unworthy and all the other projects, but we are in a whole other realm of ourselves. Like. Yeah, you got that little Power Ranger. I can't say little Power Ranger stuff, but yeah, you have that Power Ranger stuff going on over there. But I think it was a few episodes ago before I was saying that, like, we need to bring more tokusatsu stuff to the U.S. Like, yeah, they did Dragon Knight, or I guess whatever version of Kamen Rider that they brought to the U.S. and with the mirrors and stuff. Yeah, it flopped, but I believe that with all the other series that they have going on, they need to bring it to the U.S. Like let's do it. Like that's the whole purpose of me dressing up as Kamen Rider build. Like, yeah, people say, "Oh, you look like a Power Ranger," and I'm like, "Yeah, but no, I am this." And then they go, "Hey, what's this? Oh, this is pretty good. I like this," and I'm like literally, even my kids when they hear Kamen Rider on the TV, they literally run out the room and be like, Henshi. I'll be looking at them like, y'all don't even speak Japanese. What do you know about? And they do the whole dance and everything like that. But I respect you guys' project. I can't wait. I'm here today. I want to hear more about it. I want to know more. I want to know more about the characters. I want to know plot. Don't tell me plot twist, because
what's the point of a plot twist if you already know it?
Yeah, like I just want to know so much, and I'm so excited about it. I'm sorry, excuse me for me cheesing so much and talking so much, but I'm just so interested in your guys' stuff. Like, I think you guys make a great team, and what you guys are doing is amazing. But yes, please tell me more about what's going on.
Well, it's exactly my exact thought process of what you're saying. We haven't really had any American Toku, come to America like since VR Troopers, Beetleborgs, and Power Rangers for like 20 years now. There's been nothing. So another answer to your previous question on why I did what I did, I'm just tired of saying the same thing. I wanted something original that's tokusatsu related. It's been too long.
And then when you just look at something simple like cosplaying, for example, just 5-10 years ago, it was not that it wasn't existent, but it was much smaller. You didn't have the opportunity to have companies that sell like custom wigs for it and stuff like that. You had to Sharpie dye your wigs and stuff because there really wasn't a market for it yet. But after there being enough exposure for it, it actually was able to fall into popularity. And now, you know, whenever I was a kid, I would say cosplay and people would be like, what's that? And now you say cosplay and, you know, my grandfather knows what it means, you know? So whenever things actually have enough push behind them for people to actually bring them to the States and help popularize them, they're usually able to take off, not because they haven't, because of unpopularity, but because there hasn't been enough exposure for them. Right. So I feel like with enough of this original Toku content is actually able to have more exposure here and people put in a lot of work to it, that it'll eventually start to take off in much the same way, which will open a lot more opportunities to people in the future who are doing the same thing that we're doing, to have more resources readily available to them, because the name Toku is more out there. People will actually know what you're talking about whenever you say that.
Right. Like I was in Central Park and I had my Colorado build on, and some girl and her friend was on a bike and they rode past. They was like, "It's not Halloween," and I was just like, "Yeah." So tell your mother to take her mask off then. And then I had to catch myself, and then I was like, you know what? It's not Halloween. It's called cosplay. And then another gentleman, like he just happened to hear. Well, he didn't hear what I said the first time, but he heard what I said about cosplay. He pulled me to the side. He was like, "What is cosplay?" And people in Central Park are amazed. They was like, "What is that?" Like, "Oh, you're some type of Power Ranger?" And I was like, "No." And then when I broke it down to them, they was just like, "What? Where can I?" He pulled his phone out and literally typed it up and was like, "I can watch this." And I was like, "Yeah, hit the link to watch that." So I'm just like, I want to wear build more often, just to get it up and going. Like I actually do want to come up with my own writer, some type of writer, and wear her more often, because you only really see Toku in Indonesia and everywhere but the US. So I that's why I back you guys so much. Like, yeah, I'm with it. I'm with that type of wave. Like, I'm about to start printing a whole bunch of Camarada helmets and just have them sit up, and when people look at them, I'm like, "Who's that?" "Oh yeah, that's this one, and that's that series, and it's this series, and that's that series." And even when you guys your series starts taking off, if I could have someone make literally the 3D file for your helmets, I would love to do that, and then print them and just have them and ship them to you guys. Like, hey, here.
If we ever get helmets, which we have one being made right now, our Wild Ranger 5, but he's so backed up, it's going to take almost a year for it to appear.
He has recently suffered a pretty sad family tragedy, so he got kind of backed up on work.
Yeah, we have a helmet being made, but what I was about to say is we sadly can't really accept helmets from other people unless we know it's going to be stunt quality, because if I can drop it and it'll bust, I can't use it for martial arts stunts. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, it's got to be safe for the human skull for martial arts stunts.
Okay.
So basically, to put that into kind of like costuming language, is usually whenever you 3D print a prop, it's a bunch of little cells of plastic that print on top of themselves and melt into each other. So a lot of the time, when it's a small prop, like say, a phone about this size, it works out better because it has less of a broad area for it to crack. But when you have something big and hollow like that, that's 3D printed with no reinforcement, one drop could literally crack your entire helmet, and it can't take stunt hits because it would crack your helmet as well. So you can make helmets either out of EVA foam, which takes a lot more work but ends up with the same quality, or you can do
fiberglass
kind of a 3D printing method, but you line like the insides with the same mesh that they put on cars. Like if you have a hole in your car, they'll put the mesh over the hole and then cover it in a hard resin that's made for vehicles, and then paint over it. It becomes just as hard as a vehicle again. As you know, you can punch a car, you might make a little dent in it, but you're not going to crack it, So whenever it comes to helmets, we're kind of going the resin, either completely resin casted, which is a lot more difficult, or resin covered to be able to add durability to it, so it'll actually be able to take stunts. I would really just like to throw a helmet across the room and only find scratch marks on the paint.
Yeah, but that's what I was going to do. Majority of my helmets that I'm working on, I wasn't just regular 3D printing them. I was going to make them stunt ready, like resin.
Right.
Yeah, because I feel the same way. I would hate to 3D print something and have it on display, and then knowing that I have kids and I jump around and play with them and knock it over and then it's destroyed. I would cry and then make sure they cry right along with me. So it's like, I already know that I have to do resin. I already know that. Like the helmets that I have now, I'm going to go resin.
We're currently looking for another helmet person to possibly be able to make a helmet a little bit faster than Wild Ranger right now, because he's so backed up. So we might catch you on that, we'll talk more about it outside of this podcast, but more future protector stuff. Yeah.
yeah. Let's go. Future protectors. Okay.
The likelihood of being able to print one and then reinforce it with resin and stuff and actually finishing it out myself, like just having the 3D printed shell without any paint on it or anything, I would still be able to get in there and add the fiberglass meshing back into it and add the resin stuff like that to actually, harden it up and then start the paint process on it. So that's always an option as well.
We definitely always pay for what we grab for Armored Toku Heroes because everybody needs to make it out here, and it's messed up to take freebies, in my opinion. You know what I mean? So you'd definitely be compensated if you did help us out.
Oh, no, look, listen. If I'm offering something, it's no compensation needed. I'm not the type that even if we end up losing contact or anything like that, or things just happen to go left with us, I'm not the type to be like, oh, compensate me because I did X, Y, and Z. That's not me. If I believe in something and I'm passionate about something, if I'm willing to do it for you, I'm going to do it. Like, that's just me, hands down. Like, so if you guys need somebody, I just want you guys to have something physical that you can hold and say, yo, this is Toku. This is Armored Heroes. Like, just so to help you guys get a step ahead or step up on your guys' projects. Like I said, if you already have the files, sure, shoot them to me. I will make sure they will be discreet. I won't try to resell them. I'll print them and ship them right back to you. Like, here you go. Do it, color them, paint them, poop in them. I don't really care. Just do your thing.
I have a file for you I can send later.
Okay.
So our morphers are not called morphers. They're metamorphers.
Yeah.
There it go. You heard it first.
Right. Soul Source is the energy. Metamorphers are the things they use. They're definitely not rangers. They're armored heroes or villains, depending, on their morality. There's still monsters and henchmen and main characters that are not armored heroes or villains. I definitely do not want to be the kind of brand that only focuses on the ones that tap into the void or the soul source. Because after a while, it's like, is it really just like a civil war between people with the same power, or are we having other stakes here? You know what I mean? And I want as much stakes as possible, which brings me to the multiverse of the Armored Toku Hero brand. Every series is in its own separate universe. There's freedom per universe, right?
Right.
And with that comes the realm of possibility with the soul source. See, I don't want the soul source rules to be the same in every universe. I want the soul source to be forever expanding and changing and depending on the rules of that universe. So I guess in layman's terms, Future Protectors and the way that soul source functions is probably completely different in like a completely different series I have planned. He just yeeted. He like straight up yeeted. Hello?
He got kids too, though. He might have heard something,
Fair enough.
Yeah, so you talking to somebody. It might have been one of the babies.
Yeah. I can repeat anything he needs me to.
No. I heard you. I was here, right? So all right. So you don't want it to be where, because I hear what you're saying about how the you don't want it to be not stereotypical, but you want it to be unique in the same sense. So how would you continue that then if you don't want it to be, hey, soul source in the void continuously clashing without losing your the interest of the viewer?
Basically, I probably have a decent answer because of divinity. So a lot of what we talked about, now we're talking about Armored Toku Heroes, specifically the Future Protectors branch, right. Which is not targeted towards kids, but it's not it's decent. Kids can watch it and it won't make their parents flip out. But if you change and you look towards Armored Toku Heroes Divinity, the series that I'm mostly heading up is definitely a rated R production, which changes the way that the soul source and the void are actually able to interact with people. Death is more of an ability. things like that. So the kind of the difference between they're all one shared universe, but the way that the void and the soul source work in the multiverse kind of fluctuates a little bit between which series you're in. For example, in Divinity, basically what happens is the soul source becomes like very, very fragmented in a way, to the point where pretty much just time and space is starting to fall off around it. And mine is based off of a lot of different folklores and mythologies. So other energies outside of the soul source do exist, like, divine beings. So I have gods from several different pantheons, from African mythology, from Japanese mythology, from Nordic mythology, and basically these gods step in to pretty much sacrifice themselves into the soul source to be able to kind of try and fix the problems that are with it, but they pretty much are stuck there themselves, becoming kind of like that, well, for lack of a better word, similar to Morphin Masters to some degree.
Do you remember the title? Do you remember the title?
What you talking about?
Of the people you're talking about. I call them Soul Source Guardians. The deity.
I didn't even get to that yet.
Oh, yeah.
She's like, don't wait.
I'm like, wait, which title? Did I say something wrong? No, I just didn't say it at all yet.
That's what I was asking.
Right. I was about to ask. So, I love where that's going. Like how you. All right. So which is first? Is Divinity first, or is
Future Protectors?
Think of it like this: first? Future Protectors, Earth 1, Divinity, Earth 2, and so on.
Okay, that's what I was trying to figure out, because I'm like, if time is ending in this one, which one is? Yeah, see, I'm listening. Haha, yeah, right. So I'm like, how can this? All right, so time is ending in one, and then the next one, you have the gods sacrificing themselves into the source in order to restore time. Never mind. I'm not. In my head, things are clicking, and just go ahead.
So, like, I can answer that confusion, sort of. So, Earth 2, that chunk of the soul source is getting fragmented, right? But Earth 1 is not affected, but because it's a different universe. But because it's fragmented in Divinity, the Armored Heroes' abilities are very much reduced, and because of that, they have the fear of death more than Future Protectors does, because they don't have like regeneration properties, they don't have the access to their mechs, stuff like that. Like it becomes a horror genre for Toku because the monsters have the advantage, and it's very terrifying when you're going up against creatures from the dark with barely anything to stand for it except guidance. So but with that fragmentation, it's going to quake through the multiverse in a slow wave. So it's going to affect other series we have planned just over time. And even whenever those deities find a way to potentially repair it one day of that chunk, the other damage is still going to be done until that repair wave goes all the way through, just as slow.
Right. So it's like the aftershock. It's like they get hit with the first wave, and then the second wave comes in, but it's a time before. So like they could be in the midst of going through something, and all of a sudden the positivity wave comes and hits their planet, and then they go, okay, now we get
Every universe functions in time differently than the other because time is perceived differently in each one.
Right. It's like coming out of Amazon. Amazon was rated R because it did blood and people actually died and all this other stuff like that was going on. What's happening, YouTube? That's Legend Storm TV. So it's like, I'm really looking forward to this, guys. Like, I can't say this more than enough. Like, you guys really got something going on. I hope you don't, get bored or get tired or give up on it or switch it up. I want you guys to keep going with this. Like, this is.
I have 11 TV shows prepared already. I have enough Armored Toku Hero shows to bury me in it for like the next 3 decades of content.
Bro, I need to introduce you to this guy that I am working with in California. He's an actor. He has some real good connections. I got the perfect song for the fresh cut you got, bro. Chill, bro. Don't do that to me, Saber. Don't do that to me, Saber. Chill, man. And this is all of me.
Like your cut, G.
I like your cut, G. I did this myself. It's crazy because I was just looking rough the other day and I was trying to do the waves thing. And for some reason, I went to go cut my hair. And in the midst of me cutting it, I guess my hand just turned the wrong way. And then I had a patch. And I was just like,
oh, no.
I said, great. No more waves. And then I was just like, oh, man. What is I don't want to use the word fueling, but what is driving your villains to be villains? Like, what is their main goal? Like, is it basic, like taking over the universe, or what is it?
So you heard the origin of the Soul Source and the Void technically earlier, right? You've probably figured out by now the entity is the mentor to the Future Protectors, while the creature in the Void that made it in the first place is the main villain, right?
Right.
That main villain is spiteful towards the entity and the Soul Source for being the original holder of the Soul Source energy and then being stripped from it. So he's after the Soul Source and everything it protects out of spite. And what's interesting about that monster is it looks upon the earth and finds, just like the mentor, the Void, leader finds people who are just awful people. Some people are just actually naturally evil. That there's no such thing as an evil person. Well, I disagree. I believe there's plenty of evil people in this world, and the Void has no problem finding them. So he chooses his own champions that are willing, not mind control, willing to destroy others. And that's how he gets his team. They're motivated by their own personal, ambitions of why they want to do things, per 3 armored villains, plus the leader itself. So all 4 of them have a lot of depth and all have different goals, but they all agree if they work together, they cannot be defeated, while the Future Protectors will have a hard time having teamwork because, they may be good people at heart, but it's just hard to have team synergy when you don't know them versus the evil people having a similar drive to work together, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so you have finally a fully functional evil team, like the Red Lanterns, for example, like Atrocitus. He's evil, like like despite like my favorite villain, the Gray Destroyer, like that works, like because I watch a lot of stuff and it's like, oh, they just overnight just happen to work with each other, like, or overnight just one person they don't get along. Like, there's plenty of jobs I had where I didn't get along with like 4 of the people at the job, and I'm just like, I don't know how this gonna work. Like, I like the fact that your story it's original and it's more relatable. I can relate to it. And damn, this is gonna be good. I don't know how many times I'm gonna have to say this. Like, this is really gonna be good. Oh dang, I had another question. Jesus Christ, Batman. What was it? It was referring to the villains. Okay, so your villains, right? Driving past my house, music all loud. Your villains, right? Are they? No, it was towards Toku series. Have you ever watched Ultraman?
Yes,
Okay.
I have.
Okay, so it's giving me Ultraman vibes, and I
Heck
feel
yeah.
like, yeah, I for those who haven't watched, Google Ultraman, not the one on Netflix. It's other series on. Right now it's on Tubi. You can literally watch every season of Ultraman on Tubi. great season, great show. But like I was saying, you're giving me Ultraman vibes. Like things make sense and things like villains who actually can work together and say, hey, look, listen, if you go destroy this, but if we work together, it's not like, hey, I'm ruler and you have to obey me because I'm stronger than you. No, we and you both have the same agenda. Let's accomplish it together. Like let's get rid of all the goodness. Because you're right, there are some evil people in this world, but I haven't ran across them yet. I probably have and didn't know it or didn't spend too much time with them, but I understand the theory of what you're trying to do, and especially with the heroes. Like, yeah, make the heroes discombobulated. Let's do more of that. Let's give them more real life struggles. Toku now. What other series besides the two that you just told us? What's another series that you're working on?
I guess I can throw a couple more in there. The third series is Armored Toku Heroes Fossil Knights.
Okay.
It definitely is affected by Divinity's actions of the fragmentation. That universe gets reduced to the medieval style of living, but in modern times because of the negative wave from the fragmentation. And the Toku ability that gets passed to these individuals are medallions. They're not exact metamorphers. They're medallions they have to put in their metamorphos, which are going to be swords, right? And that's what makes them, fossil knights. The medallions are based off of fossils, not necessarily dinosaurs. It can be pretty much any creature that's become a fossil by now. So,
Okay.
and it's a very small team comparatively to the other series. It's only going to have like 3 heroes and 1 villain when it comes to the armored side of things.
Oh.
But it's going to be pretty lit.
All right. So on the other series, how many heroes and how many villains?
Which one?
How many heroes? Divinity.
For Divinity, right now, I'm still in pre-production, so I'm trying to figure out if I want to keep all of the ones that I have. But I have 7 of them. I'm going to pull up my little list and give you a little bit of a background on some of them.
You got 7 heroes.
So basically,
is it a reason for the number 7?
It's all of the mythologies and different religions that I actually connect to and know enough about to feel like I'm actually able to give a proper cultural representation for them.
Don't want to make that mistake, you know what I'm saying? Like, talk about something you don't understand, you know?
That's a touchy topic. Yeah, that's real touchy.
We have a
tier champion.
Yeah, we have our tier champion, which is from Norse mythology. We have our Amaterasu champion, that's from Japanese mythology. We have our Anubis champion, Egyptian mythology. We have our Kali champion, which is Indian mythology. We have our Cernunnos champion, which is like old Gaelic druid.
Druid, yeah.
We have our Quetzalcoatl, which is old Aztec, Yeah. We also have Anansi, which is African mythologies.
I
so all based off of existing divinities,
I respect you use Anansi because he's another one that doesn't get a lot of, like, I heard about him once, maybe in elementary school, when they read the fables, and then when you watch American Gods, he gets like 2 or 3 episodes or whatnot. Like, I respect that you use him. Wow. So in Toku Heroes, how many characters do you have? Villains
in Future Protectors?
Yeah, Future Protectors.
Armored Toku Heroes is the main
it's like the umbrella brand.
The main brand title, and every side title is the series title. Future Protectors, there's 5 heroes and 3 armored villains, and 1 main hero mentor and 1 main villain mentor. And I guess I can say slightly, but I cannot tell you what they are. There is 2 secret armored characters that will show up eventually.
All right. Can you all right, after this, can you just tell me one? Can Can I
Yeah.
secretly just know one? All right, cool. That's fair enough. I don't even gotta ask no more.
Personal DMs, yeah. So you asked about more series. So Fossil Knights is the third one, and I'll give you one more.
Real quick before you get into that, I just want to read this comment that's down here from Legend Storm. They said, will the series be an RPG, audio tale, or a live action series? I know of a comic book about Anansi by a friend of mine. Excuse me if I butcher the last name, Greg Ellis. Elise?
I was saying Elise. But
Yeah.
So
close enough.
is he asking about Divinity?
I'll just throw it under the whole banner. We're starting off with Future Protectors and letting it be the main thing to focus on right now while we start to build enough content to actually gain some traction and some interest from people. So that will be a tabletop for the first season of it. And then after the first season of Future Protectors, everything after that will be completely live action, except for we're also going to be making a comic book to go with it. Because like we were previously saying, sometimes people just don't have the time. You know, you got kids, you understand 3 hours is a chunk of time out the day to sit down and watch a video and actually be able to focus on it. So for the people that are interested in the story but don't have the time to watch, 3-hour episodes every week or whatever interval we end up doing it in, we'll have the comic book that will have the story in it for people to be able to digest in a different medium that gives them more of an ability to work on it on their own time and pace.
Which is fun because another thing about the tabletop being the first season is I told them anything that happens in that tabletop when it comes to improv happens in the comic book. So if you die, you die. Sorry about it. You don't make it to season 2.
Wow.
Dice rolls really mean something in this one.
Dice rolls will mean everything. And that's what makes it exciting. It's spontaneous.
Yeah, If you, I like how you said that. If you die, you die. Like he's like, if you die, you die.
If you die, you die.
You die. If a goblin come and bite you in your ass, that's it. Goblin just came bit you in your ass. You going in the comic book. Oh man, that'd be fun.
So, I can't hear you. I think is everything all right? Check the.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Check. All right.
All right, good. So I'll tell you one more series that's in the list since you asked for a couple. I'm gonna skip ahead. I don't know, babe. Should it be this one, or should I tell them about this one? No, which one of these three?
Dang. All right. So give me a number. Give me a number
Okay.
1 through 5, and then let me pick through that. If that's the case, you have that many series. Give me a number 1. Let me give you a number 1 through 5, and then.
All right. Pick. Pick 1 through 6.
But 1 and 2, you obviously already know because that's Future Protectors and Divinity.
No. I'm just telling him numbers because I count how many are left. 1 through 6, please. Pick a number. Don't it can be 1 or 6. 5. Let me count. So we already went past. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You said 5?
Yep.
All right. Armored Toku Heroes, Sky Soldiers.
Hey. Hold on. Before you get into that, Legend Storm TV says, I can't wait to see the series come to fruition, and I can't wait to see who's in the full cast that haven't been announced.
Yeah, we are
bro.
auditioning.
Yeah, auditions for Divinity are still entirely open. Like I said, I work with a bunch of different actors and a bunch of different people that are already really established, but I also do acting classes for people for all sorts of different things. So we're still looking for more people in Future Protectors, which I'll let Jay get to, but I'm also still in the full casting stage of Divinity. So far, I've got 2 people cast tentatively at the moment, and I still need to fill out the rest of the cast.
Luckily, it only takes me like 10 minutes to write an entire series. I'm just that creative. It's insane. My brain goes like...
I always make a joke with him that I could give him a color, a shape, and a number, and he'll come up with a story about it.
Yeah. We are auditioning, And what depresses me is we've had like maybe 4 people interested. It really sucks because I think it's because we don't really have much content, so they don't know much about us, so they really don't know if they should audition or not. But I encourage anyone to please audition. I mean, it's going to be worth it. It really is.
That's why I wrote you an extra. I'm like, yo, you're passionate. A lot of people talk. They talk about, yeah, I got this going on, and yeah, I got that going on, and yeah, I'm trying to start this, and yeah, and then I'm like, yo, show me the work. Like, don't just tell me something. Show me the work. Like, yeah, you got artwork, but tell me. You like, this is why I respect you and you two as well. Like, this is why I respect both of you guys, because you just don't live the shit. You eat it, you shit it, you breathe it. Like, it's not just your baby, it's you. It's like one of your fingers. You're very passionate about it. So it's just like, yo, like I like I said, guys, tune in. This is gonna be epic. This is gonna take shit to a whole nother level. They bring in a whole new universe to the US. Like, bro, this is gonna be dope. But yes,
we're doing a lot more of the active casting right now with Future Protectors, because basically my idea with Divinity is I've formed the base traits that I want the characters to have, the divinity that's connected to them, but I haven't gender capped any of them or age capped any of them, because I would rather open up the entire audition list to people and then give them a few lines or something to kind of get them started, and they should be like, show me what you can do. Tell me how this character feels to you. How you feel like this character should be. And then eventually I'll find the person that not only does their vision work for them, but will match my vision for my different champions and divinity as well. And at that point, I would like to, how do I say it? You know, when you watch movies that have like Will Smith, Robin Williams, Jim Carrey, they're playing characters, but they're still very much also themselves the entire time too.
Embody. You want them to embody the character. You want them to embrace.
That's kind of what I'm going for. Yeah, that's what I'm going for with Divinity. Is I want to find the people, work on the casting, and then kind of build up the characters more tailor fit to the people that I'm going to have as well. So there's more of an authentic connection that they'll have to their characters as well. So the reason I haven't really started like hard pushing the casting for Divinity yet is I want to be able to write out and draw out the designs for each character and the weapons and give you a basic idea of a few of their different traits that are stable, a couple of different little background pieces, and then let people audition for whatever they see fit from there until I'm able to actually find people that mesh well on both directions. Right. So as soon as I'm actually able to finish the art for those and post, little blurbs about them, then I'll actually be able to open up the process more to where people could start sending us audition videos and things like that.
Right. I that's a smart way to go about it, because you don't want somebody to play a character that, like, you want somebody to be like, hey, you're Anubis. You look like Anubis. You sound like Anubis. If I had to put your picture and a word together, I would think that you fit that character. That's a dope way to do it. I definitely agree with that.
The fun thing, actually, if I didn't branch out on that, we have our champions, and then we have the Soul Source Protectors as well. So it's double factored. You have the gods and the divinity, and then you have the champions that they pick. So the champions will be a champion. We'll have Anubis, somebody playing Anubis themselves, and then we'll have somebody playing Anubis's champion that we chose. So I have a lot of casting to do. I have a ridiculous amount of casting to do.
Right. So, but if you pick an Egyptian god, would Achilles be? No, Achilles would be Greek.
Greek.
He would be Greek. But yeah, if you had a Greek god, you'll pick somebody like he'll pick like somebody like Achilles champion or some. Okay.
And I'm trying my best. I'm not sure how well it will work, but I'm trying to cast also with cultural representation. I would really like the divinities, the divine, as well as the champions are a little bit more of a gray area, but for the divinity themselves, I would like the people that I cast for it to be in some way culturally connected to it. Something just hits me funny about, a white person playing Anubis. Or Anansi. Or like me trying to step into the shoes of like Amaterasu or something like that. It's not that you couldn't play it well, but if I have it my way, I wanted to actually have cultural representations as well, so that the people who are cast can also help me along the way to make sure that I'm properly representing these cultures.
Right.
That makes the casting ever the more harder. So it's going to take a hot minute.
It's like when I watched The Great Wall with Matt Damon, I think it is. And I'm like, they talking about the Great Wall of China. Why you guys are even there? Like, you're not Asian. What are you doing? Like, no.
I'm on that same soapbox. The one that gets me is, what was it, Gods of Egypt?
Yes.
But everybody is as pale as a piece of brick.
Yo,
I'm like, y'all, it's hot out there. The sun's out. Y'all wouldn't even be this pale even if y'all weren't the proper ethnicity. Y'all don't look like y'all belong here. Y'all gonna get sunburned.
Exactly. I was like, wait, why is he?
Speaking,
I'm like, where the color at? You only had one colored person, and I'm like, and then you had what's name playing Wisdom, but he's indoors. So I'm like, how is he indoors and he black as hell? But everybody that's outside is I was like, what the?
Speaking of auditioning, I'm trying to make all of the Armored Toku Hero brand very martial arts oriented. So I'm not saying that I can't cast people that are chunky because I'm chunky myself, so it's my lady. But we need to be able to have people that can do martial arts. I have 14 years of experience in counting. I can actually still move for a fat guy. So I'm trying to audition people for the live action portions that actually can do their own stunts because it saves money and it is just convenient. That way the person who's under the helmet really is the person under the helmet as well. You know what I mean?
I like that. Yeah, I agree with
that. Stunt doubles. If somebody can do a particular piece, but have a decent, a decent grip of physical movement and don't fatigue very easily and are actually able to pull the stunts that we need them to. But let's say there's a couple of 2-3 things that they can't do or aren't comfortable doing for their health. Those type of things can be body doubled with somebody else that you can't see their face to be able to get the same quality. But for the most part, we're trying to find people for both future protectors and divinity and everything going past there, people that are actually capable to, do the fights and do the movements and things like that.
Okay. That's y'all trying to go Hollywood. Y'all trying to go Hollywood. But
well, the funny part about that is it is original, and we did copyright everything. So we'll be able to have DVDs, plushies, you name it, man. It's all marketable and sellable legally. So I'm expecting to have movies, DVDs. So yeah, Hollywood indeed. Action figures.
And actually, with that in mind, that's one slightly sensitive topic that I probably will pick up on now while I actually have you live. There's a lot of people that reach out to us that are part of the Power Ranger community or some other already licensed community, Pokemon or something, or, Mortal Kombat or, anything like that. And it's not that we diss those people. We very much appreciate their work. It's amazing. But for us to...
Even you yourself with Legacy, even, we appreciate that.
But when it comes to actually being able to monetize our project fully, for it to be a completely original concept, we're not actually able to do any crossovers or any officially connected work with people that are using licensed content already, because it will nullify us being able to actually profit from it. Sadly,
we could get in trouble.
Yeah, right. No.
So basically, with a big company that has their own brand, like let's say
actually Hasbro contacted me for an actual crossover, that's more viable. But if I did something with a Toku that's affiliated with Combat for the Grid, I can't. That's a no-go. It's nothing against Combat for the Grid. It's just as an original act of creation for a tokusatsu, it makes it to where I have legality issues.
Yeah.
It makes
so maybe what I'm saying is like if a big company like Marvel wants to do a crossover with, I don't know, freaking Pokemon. They both own the licenses to their own content. So whenever they make a crossover, there is no legality issue
gray area.
because the official licensed people actually came together. So if we merge anything Armored Toku Heroes with anybody else that's using a label or a license that they don't actually own, like Power Rangers, Beetleborgs, Mortal Kombat, Pokemon, whatever else, we can't actually cross over with them because they don't have the legal right to connect their brand to ours, if that makes any sense.
No, it does. It does.
So effective immediately, anybody that I had planned crossovers with, if they're connected to any kind of Ranger content, I can't work with them, sadly. I'm really sorry.
And like an official level.
Like with Armored Toku Heroes, though. Now, I did say the other day, right, as a fan-made OC cosplay, like my brown Baryonyx Ranger, I can show up in someone else's Ranger-oriented content as an OC of a fan-made thing, because at that point, it's not Armored Toku Heroes, it's just me going and joining a fan series as a different character that has nothing to do with my brand. So I am not against being in fan series, neither is she, and we also still support everybody. It's just
we're still both part of Master Force as we speak, and Digital Beasts, and
But Armored Toku Heroes in general just can't touch any of it, like without basically damning the brand,
right?
So to speak.
It makes sense.
I don't want to sink time and money and years and years and years of effort into it to one day come home to a piece of mail in the mailbox that is a cease and desist letter from Hasbro.
Yeah, because
yeah.
You guys, talking to you guys really got me ready to like get on my tablet and come up with something super original and like take it to another level.
Look,
I'm really ready.
Honestly, it wasn't hard for me to come up with original Toku. I mean, I replaced certain key elemental words that made it its own thing. It wasn't that bad, Grid's no longer the Grid, it's the Soul Source. It's no longer Rangers, it's Armored Heroes. It's no longer Morphers, it's Metamorphers. It was a breeze, man. Like, I encourage anybody to do their own original Toku. Join the original Toku multiverse, come to the side of things. Even Jason David Frank, he has his own original Toku right now. It's not Power Rangers. Legend of the White Dragon, completely original. He's in my multiverse, technically, of the original Toku area, So, he knows what's up, too, So,
if we ever got big enough to actually garner the interest, we could do a crossover with Legend of the White Dragon as well. Because they're not licensed by a company that we can't do anything with, or in a universe that we can't connect to.
And we're not Power Rangers, so we are viable. See what I mean? So, I encourage anyone that's inspired by this to do their own original content. Honestly, do it.
Yo, that is what's up. Yeah, so let's get back into Sky Warriors real quick before we wrap this up.
Yeah. I will give you the synopsis for Sky Soldiers as one more sneak peek into the future, because Sky Soldiers is my 9th series plan, so you won't see this for a while. But just give me 1 second to pull up what I need. All right, here we go. Sky Soldiers takes place in Universe 9 of the Armored Toku Hero multiverse on a different planet, other than Earth. All land became poisonous or uninhabitable in some way or another. So multiple cities in the sky were built before the land of the planet became fully toxic to everybody. Resources, along with the new way of living, has made crime and / evil acts increase. So basically, because of all the less resources, because most of the planet is poisonous, there's only sky cities now. Everybody's like, what, I gotta rob this dude. I'm without my child's hungry. Crimes increase. It is up to the new team of armored heroes to maintain order and preserve their people before they potentially go extinct. So basically, these Sky Soldiers, they have the Soul Source energy, and it gave them abilities to where they have different jet varieties for their mechs, so they can explore the planet without dying of poison if they get too low. And they're having to deal with so many politics of living in the sky now, trying to find things from other planets, et cetera, et cetera. Like everybody's struggling, and they're just trying to keep their people alive, you know, in time to actually flourish enough to survive this conflict that's happened with their universe, you know? I honestly would argue that Sky Soldiers doesn't have much villains because the villains themselves is their own people, because their own people are against them when they're trying to help them. There will be villains, but like it's more of a struggle to save humanity kind of show, you know?
It's the villains that are right underneath your nose in daily life.
Right. So it's like your close friend right next to you could be your villain. Like you may think, hey, look, listen, we got beef with plane number 8 or floating island number 32 or something like that, and come to find out that you go there and they seem like they're nice people, but they could just be totally assholes ready to just take over or whatever. Yeah.
And those people, if they have enough hatred in their hearts, will tap into the void and become dark soldiers. So
would you make it that before it gets to their planet, when the positive energy gets to their planet, would that give them an upgrade, or would it just like what would change the aspect? Like, I don't want to say battleizer or
it would clear the poison, but they'll soon to find out something grew underneath that poison. So they may get their planet back once the positive energy flies through, but at what cost? Because it seems like it's not their planet anymore.
Right. Okay. I like that idea.
In their absence, something happened.
Something was feeding off the poison, and it's definitely new.
So it's like a cause and effect. Yeah. Okay. The poison caused. We're not gonna share too much because we already know that this is season 9 is no time soon. But I like where this is going. I like how each planet, even though it's a different timeline, they relate to each other some way, in shape or form. I like that. But thank you guys. We have reached the hour mark. I actually stayed on with you guys longer than what I expected because, you know, everything that was going on. We could talk about this for days. Like one day I'll probably just call you guys and be like, yo, hey, what's going on? Keep me updated on what's going on. You don't have to always, you know, do a podcast about it. We could just, hey, Brooklyn, what's going on? Hey, I got this going on. I'll be like, hey, look, I got this going on. Or, hey, I can hit you up or whatever. But
for sure, man.
Let the people know where they can find you, where they can find more of this work, where they can hear more about it. I would encourage you to post more and to, you know, share more about your project, because it's hard to find out about what's going on with you guys when you don't really share too much. Like, yeah, you did the artwork and yeah, in pre-production, but just, you know, hey, this is coming out soon, or hey, reminder that this is coming out soon. Like, I don't guys want you to lose the fan base that you do have. I want you to gain more. So I would just recommend just share more, because you have people who want to know what's going on.
Honestly, I'm gonna step in and I'm gonna take this one on the chin. The reason why a lot of it has actually slowed down is not his fault at all. I've been going through a lot of personal problems. Okay. We're polyamorous, which means that we're allowed to have more than one partner. Yeah. And I was married for 7 years. And it had recently come to light that my partner of 7 years was sexually harassing people, cyber stalking people, and cheating. So the last few months I have completely fallen apart and not been able to really help move the project forward. And out of respect for making sure that he always confirms with me what's happening with the series, it hasn't been able to put up a lot of content yet. But just last week, I was actually able to get him out of my home, get him on his way, and be able to restart my life again. That was December 1st that I actually made sure he was gone. So from here on, we should be able to post things more often, actually bring more content in, keep an interest and stuff like that. But like I said, a bit of the personal tragedy on my end has definitely stifled the speed of content.
Trust me, I've tried to push out content as quick as possible, but you gotta have quality, you know, and it takes a little bit of time. So while we're still in pre-production, other than the hiatus, and I didn't want to seem like an ass and force my depressed lady to do content with me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, she's my costumer, my art designer, a lot of things. Like, I can't do anything if she's not able to do it at the time. So I've been stuck,
so
you
sweet.
know.
That is so sweet,
But
and I respect that. I definitely understand where that's coming from. I'm just just keep doing your thing, guys. Let's give these people a round of applause. Like, I love what these guys have done. I love what you guys are doing. No, keep going. Right? Tell
we
everybody
will
where
have
they can find
content.
you.
Yeah, for sure. We will have content. We're planning on recording in January. The episode, that does not mean the episode will release in January. We still got to edit things and put the effects in it and the metamorph sequence and stuff like that before we can actually release the episode. But you can't just record something and not actually edit it afterwards, you know? So the episode will eventually release within the next few months for sure. You just got to be patient with us, please. The best things in life, you know, take a little bit of time. You can find me Drunken Dragon's Lair on Twitch if you want to watch me drink mead and play video games. You can find me at Drunken Dragon Gaming as well on YouTube. You can go follow the Armored Toku Heroes YouTube channel, you know, like right now before we actually have content, in case, you know, you want to like be ready when it does.
To get notifications for it.
Yeah, when it does pop up, you know, I encourage that. I'd like to see how many people actually want to see this, you know. And you can find her at...
You can find my personal stuff you can either go to the Armored Toku Heroes Divinity page, or you can check out my personal page at Lopfinac. But I also have my costume company, which is One Brick Cosplay, building the bridge to the fantasy world one brick at a time. That's our slogan. Those are a couple of different places that you can find some of our personal content, but for the most part, mainly updates for Armored Toku Heroes at this time are going to be on the official Armored Toku Heroes page. So you'll find all of the updates going into there, anything that's coming up, any new art, and then I'm slowly working with Jay to branch out to other platforms of social media as well. So being able to cross-post that from both Instagram, Facebook, doing things on YouTube, and, you know.
Sky's the limit.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's vibe out to my intro. This is Brooklyn Boy Cosplay bringing you my two lovely guests, the lovely duo right here. You can stay tuned. Next week, Saturday, I have another guest. You know, stay live, stay fly. Spread love is the Brooklyn way. You already know.
And remember, may the soul source guide you.
Thank you for sending it for me.
Thank you guys again for tuning in. This is Brooklyn Boy Cosplay. Their love is the Brooklyn way. Find me on Brooklyn Boy Cosplay. Brooklyn Boy _Cosplay on Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Yeah, please go for it. Stay tuned. Next week I have another guest. We out.
Thank you.